Emery Songer here, live with head coach Jay McKinstry of the Pella Little Dutch football team. And, Coach, congratulations once again on another state championship. First and foremost, how does it feel when we say that you are a reigning and defending three-time state champion?
Well, Emery, I just feel very grateful and very thankful that just to get a chance to be part of what we've got to be part of for several years here, and especially in the last 3 years, as far as the get to do what we've got to do. I mean, it's just a really grateful and thankful feeling, and just appreciate everybody that's been a part of it.
One thing that has been interesting is the first 2 years your team was pretty much intact in terms of some of your star players, but last year a lot of turnover, and yet we still saw the same results on the field. You guys were tested a couple of times, but were able to pull out an improbable win in the semifinals, were able to win in the championship game once again, and now once again a big turnover in what the players are that are going to be on the field for Pella. What can you describe the differences between last year's team and the team that we can expect on the field week one this year?
Well, I think last year's team had probably just a little more experience than this year's team as far as at the varsity level. Whether they were at the exact same position they played last year, that may not have been the case, but they're on the field in some different spots. But when they were juniors, so I think that's the difference. That's a big difference this year. We just got a lot of kids that I think don't have the experience at the varsity level, and we have one starter back on offense and then 4 back on defense, and one of those players is the same one in Avery Van Z. So, certainly creates an element of learning how to play at a higher level, and we're going to need to learn that real quickly this year. And the good news is that we get to play 2 non-district games first. We're really shooting for our district schedule, but it's awesome that we get to play such a high-quality team such as Oskaloosa and then DCG in the following week to help prepare us for our district. And that certainly is a needed thing this year. So, we're looking forward to tonight's game against Oskaloosa in the sense of learning how to play at a higher level. I think they'll be a really, really outstanding opponent for us.
You mentioned Oskaloosa, a team that your ball club knows very well from pretty much every sport as Little Hawkeye Conference teams. Last year's football season, Oskaloosa definitely turned things around from winning just 3 games the previous 2 years to winning 7 games. First game of the season, once again, that was a non-district game. And then in the playoffs, first-round playoffs, Pella got a chance to host Oskaloosa once again in what was a hard-fought game that Pella was able to pull away late. So Oskaloosa definitely going through the same thing in terms of turnover at a lot of important positions going into this year. But overall, Coach, what do you see in the Indians, and what do you expect from them? Because they did give you quite a challenge in the playoffs in the first round last year.
Well, I think, Coach Jenkins and Jake has done such a nice job as far as just getting the kids to believe and to play with enthusiasm and passion and excitement. And I think the kids just are really, it seems like they really want to get after it and play hard. And I think Jake's done a great job with that. And, that goes a long ways in just getting your program to play well like that. And you just see that, you can see Oskaloosa's young kids last year. They have some, we know they have some very talented kids and some kids that can make plays, and that's what we see them doing this year. They certainly spread you out offensively quite a bit and put the ball in the air. And anytime you can throw the ball, you can basically beat anybody. But they certainly have some very good people and some very good personnel. They got a good lineman back in Blake, and he's just he's an outstanding football player. So I'm sure he anchors the guys up front on both sides of the ball, and I'm sure they feel real good about having him back. And then the few other, the skilled people that they have, or in the other positions, I'm sure they're excited for their leadership there too. So we just know that they're going to be a well-coached, fundamentally sound, and a football team that's going to play with great passion, and that's certainly going to create a lot of challenges for us this year.
All right, Coach, last question before we get you out of here. This is obviously a big game for Oskaloosa to start the season, a big game for Pella as well, 41-game winning streak on the line. You've only lost once in the last 4 years total, but there are going to be a lot of new faces and new names that folks are going to be looking for the Dutch. Who are a couple of names that you think will be important names for people to pay attention to for week one?
Well, you're right. Again, when you talk about the win streak or whatever, and it's, we're really trying hard. I know it's hard. I mean, we can use the cliches in football and all that, but we really do need to kind of not get. We are trying to stay focused away from that. It's so hard, and everybody wants to talk about it, but it's really puts too much pressure on our kids. We just want to really focus on this game and on our second non-district game to help us get ready for district play, and that's really, really important to us. And that we're trying to do that. To start naming names, we just hope that our senior leaders, guys like our returning starters such as Avery Van Zee and Jake Harima and Cade Van Vliet and Lucas Warner would provide us great leadership on the field and try and help empower everybody else to elevate their play really quickly tonight, because we're going to need to learn how to play at such a fast level when you're playing such a team as Oskaloosa, and that's what the guys we need to look for as far as to try and get our other kids to elevate their play and then provide leadership that we need in the first game of the season, especially with probably so many expectations and just the pressure on us. But we really want to try and help the kids deal with that in the sense of, hey, this is a non-district game. We just want to try and be the best that we can be tonight and learn from it and hopefully play a great game and then, move on and just keep improving throughout the season.
Head coach Jay McKinstry of the reigning and defending 3-time state champions in Class 3A, the Pella Little Dutch. Coach, thanks so much for joining us and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Emery. Thanks for having us on your show.